Where you want to start?
Okay, so for the number one, we want to start out with why we are doing this podcast.
Well, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
And then, of course, why we started to call it the ninth floor.
I know, right?
Okay.
I wonder why they think we called it that.
The ninth floor. Because we didn't do this operation on the 8th floor.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, we got to talk about stats.
yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, because the number of people, the unimaginable number of people who are on dialysis compared to the number of people in the United States is shocking.
It's
man.
crazy.
Can you imagine if just 1%, not even 1%, man, of people decided that they wanted to donate? What the impact would be on all these folks that really need a kidney?
Man, all this kidney talk we doing, you need water? You good?
So, I think look, I got enough water here. My palate is good. Let's get it on. All right.
I wore my Jordan slippers.
All right.
All right.
Riley, you gonna be in the
Riley, you in this?
You talking about
Put
yeah?
this murder.
But I ain't gonna give you another kidney.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right. Well,
It's that time, Sean.
it's that time.
All right. So, welcome to the ninth floor.
Welcome to the ninth floor.
I'm excited, man. This is the beginning to not only an opportunity to help and to just make people aware, huge awareness, to get people engaged, to help them understand the impact of these beautiful individuals out here who are struggling to survive, who need help, but more importantly, to help the public understand how important it is to, if you don't donate, but how important it is to help others by communicating to their families and their friends the need for donors.
Yeah, as y'all will see in this podcast, this is Marshall Parsons. He's our corporate guy. He's very well spoken, highly educated.
Sometimes.
And I'm Sean, and I'm the opposite.
You're right. That's not true.
This podcast, though, also, we want to talk about life.
Yes, sir.
And how some of you all might know this, might not know this, but Marshall lived a completely healthy life.
Yes.
Prior to this.
Yes.
And we want to put a face to these stories. And we don't want you to think this is something that only happens to just certain people who maybe their family history's full of it. Anybody in your family ever had this?
No.
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 You hear that? No. So that should make you sit up right now wherever you at and listen. Life can happen to all of us.
That's right.
And our podcast is going to show you how strong you can be when life is happening. And hopefully, for those of you that life is not happening, maybe you can make life happen for you by donating.
Right.
Helping somebody else.
And some of you are also experiencing other ailments. Not everybody is experiencing kidney failure. Not everybody is experiencing lupus. Not everybody, but there is something that you will relate to when we start having these conversations that will make you think or give you an aha moment. Like, man, that makes sense. If nothing else, sharing your story will at least get you some support. And that's the beautiful thing about Sean and I and and our friends and our family. The support has been overwhelming. The University Hospital, those type of things.
University.
Man, they have been wonderful, right?
Shout out to University Hospital.
Yes. University has been just remarkable with the support, taking care of us, providing the actual operation and everything. So we look forward to this. We also want to hear your stories too.
Yes,
and your
in the comments.
Yes.
Tell us your story. we will bring some people on.
Yes.
We can do some Zoom calls.
Yes.
Because the more we can share. Marshall, unfortunately, was dealing with lupus, which led to kidney failure. But there are some of you out there, maybe it's not an ailment that they can run a test. Because I'm going to tell you, one of the hardest things for both of us was the mental.
Yes.
The mental. And some of you guys are going through that pressure at work. And there's no donor that can help you through that. But you know what can help you? Maybe somebody can't share an organ with you, but you can share your story with us. Right. And we can tell you how we overcame things and how we will continue to go through things. We don't think this is the end. Right. We don't know what God's going to put us through next. But you all can follow us on this journey. Right.
And that's beautifully said, because, John, one of the things that we're going to talk about through this podcast is how do you psychologically, mentally withstand and be resilient during the time that you're sick. You know, I'll give you my tips, and also Sean will talk about some of his as well, because that's important. You know, to stay alive is to stay positive. To stay positive will have positive results. You know, some people who are very religious or spiritual like myself, we talk about, you know, the everlasting Father of above who delivers miracles. But some of you may not necessarily be, you know, as religious or spiritual as me. You talk about the universe. You know, the universe, what you put out is what the universe brings back. So those type of things really will help you stay positive. But that's one of the most important pieces of being healthy psychologically, which will help the body be physically healthy as well. So we'll talk about a lot of that stuff.
I love that corporate answer. My answer is sometimes you need to dig in the bottom of your soul. Stop making excuses. Get accountable.
There you go.
Be brave enough to share your story.
That's right.
And understand that you have support. There are people out there going through what you are going through. Yeah. And the reason sometimes our issues get magnified is we believe we're going through it alone.
That's
we believe
exactly right.
Had he not told me that his kidney was the size of a walnut, I wouldn't have known he needed one.
Right.
You have to say something sometimes. And I want you to know that you are cared for. Right. On this platform, we want to hear your story.
That's right.
We want to help you.
That's right.
Our Instagram is at theNINTHfloor Podcast. Tag us. Right. Tell us your story, which leads me into, Marshall, why did we call it the 9th floor?
Great question. Let me think. Did we have the operation on the first floor? No. No. Did we have the operation on the 8th floor? No. We had these beautiful, special, wonderful, awesome people who took care of us on the 9th floor.
University Hospital. That's 9th floor is the transplant floor.
Yes.
And
they do transplants for
liver
patients who have liver issues or liver failure, heart failure, and of course kidney failure.
And lung.
And
lung that's on that floor.
That's correct.
And I'm going to tell you.
That's correct.
We had never been to that floor.
No.
Prior to that surgery.
That's correct.
And we've never left that floor. We have always held on to the beautiful people and the memories and the life-changing event that happened on the 9th floor.
That's right.
So we named this podcast that so we could be your 9th floor.
That's right.
You can come to us and we'll do our best to try to doctor you up and show you that support. Because what a lot of you don't know, what did we say it was? There's 90,000 people.
That's right.
Right now.
On the waiting list.
On a waiting list. How long is the waiting list?
The waiting list can be from an average of 5 to 10 years, ladies and gentlemen.
And so many people don't make it to get their name off the waiting list because they got a donor. So many names leave the waiting list because unfortunately they didn't have enough time.
Right.
And I think we all know somebody that time just wasn't on their side. And we want you all to know, if any of our words is putting the smallest little voice in you, that, man, you know that guy at work, I should see if maybe or if a little part of you is saying, man, you know, I always see my sister, she always got her head down, I should ask her how she's doing. Whatever that voice is, we hope this podcast encourages you to listen to that voice, to answer it.
One of the things that we're going to talk about also in additional podcasts, we're going to do a lot of educational podcasts as well. And we're going to help educate you on some things that a lot of the public doesn't really know about. You know, unless you actually go in and you help, or you, you know, you sign the information, you sign up for this person, you know, you're being educated by the doctors on some of the things that will help you feel a little bit more courageous or secure about donating. We're going to talk about that in the now. You know, even before someone, God forbid, you know, you have a relative or you have a friend that comes up, you'll already be educated on some of the things that will not put fear in the eyes of that person who even thinks about marketing or thinks about being a potential donor. Because, you know, God has provided, you know, this body is so strong and so resilient. And a lot of people don't know that donating a kidney is not as difficult as others think it is.
And can I give them a spoiler alert?
Go ahead and give them a spoiler.
Spoiler alert, you only need one kidney.
One.
Now, thank God he gave us two.
Right.
Which shows you how much he loves you.
Right.
But you only need one. Once I gave him my kidney, the other kidney grew larger in size and is now functioning for two.
Right.
We just went for our blood workup.
That's true.
We are green light. We are pretty much, Riley, get over here. Come here. Excuse me, y'all. This is our third member of the ninth floor. We are in most markers, Marshall and I are better now
than we were before the surgery.
My numbers are. Now I really have to stress this to you. I had 2 kidneys. Now I have 1. But my numbers are better than when I had 2. And I'm going to tell you why. Because once you do something selfless outside of yourself,
amen,
and I see him every day, and he's got all this energy, me donating the kidney even increased my awareness to live a healthier life. Right. It changed my life in the better that this happened. I'm not sure if I would have been living how I live now had I not donated the kidney. So sometimes that little voice is just like, for any of you mothers out there, and you can attest to this, put it in the comment section. You're a far better woman now than who you were before you had a child. Because there's something about giving life that changes you. And I'll never know what it's like to be a mother, but to be able to know that my kidney is giving him this life has changed me forever. And I want to put that out there for you all, because sometimes I know donation can be scary on the sense of, well, what's going to happen to me? Guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to be a better person. That's what's going to happen to you.
There's so many other things that we're going to talk about.
A lot.
So many things that we, you know. Each podcast will probably have a small snippet of my testimony. It may have been very short, but it encompasses so many things that will help as we progress through the podcast, and they will connect the dots not only to other people's lives in segments, but it will also help to understand how important it is not only to take care of your health, not only to take care of your mental health, your physical health, but more importantly, building relationships. You know, a lot of times we don't understand. If it hadn't been for our friendship, I probably would have never, ever been able to get a kidney from Sean. We're going to talk about how, again, the universe and how the the Almighty, how He takes care of things, which is going to be even more mind-boggling when we start talking about our testimony.
Which leads me into a very important part, and that is how important relationships are.
Yes, yes.
Marshall and I are not blood brothers.
No.
But we might as well be blood brothers, because the time that we spent together, the things that we've done for each other,
Right.
had already laid the foundation that when life happened, he knew he had a brother he could call on.
Right.
Now that my kidney's in there, we are blood brothers.
Right.
But it's so important for a lot of you all, because I get it, man. When life is happening, the easiest thing to do is to isolate.
Yes.
That's the easiest thing. But
Right.
please understand, people care about you.
That's exactly right. And another thing, life is too short. When we talk about relationships, if you have a challenge with some of the relationships that you've had, it is going to be important during this broadcast to understand that life is too short. If you have a disagreement with someone, if you feel like you cannot reconnect with that person that you had a disagreement or a fallout with, it is important to understand that forgiveness is the key. And so the things that we have learned throughout this experience, we have learned so much that we're going to provide in this podcast to help, not only in so many segments, that it's going to be so beneficial to you in so many ways. And you're going to look back and say, man, what was I thinking? Or did I allow something as petty as that, to break up a relationship or a friendship or something like that? Thank God that I did not. Because we're going to talk about some things between us that could easily
told us, nah, I'm not talking about
right. But God, being God, made sure He knew from the very beginning that I was going to need this man one day, and that He was going to turn around and we would be doing this podcast to be a blessing to others outside of our own little circle.
Amen.
So,
now again, that was a corporate answer. Some people though, some people, you gotta let go.
That's true.
Because here's why I say that. Some people look to the left of you,
right.
Look to the right of you. They might be why you sick. Some people,
that is true. That
is
true.
the ones driving you to where you at.
That is true.
My dad taught me, if you want to get rid of a bad friend, loan them $20. You'll never see them again. They'll duck and dodge you for 10 years.
Right.
So those people, though, that you know are important, are a part of your foundation, are people you've been through ups and downs
That's
with.
true.
Don't let something small tear y'all
Amen.
apart.
Amen.
Don't even let something big tear y'all apart,
right.
if you can work through it. But for that person that every time you talk to
Right. You know what we're talking about.
let them go.
Right.
Let them go. Please, for me, let them go. Because it's true, man. There are some people in our lives that elevate us and they encourage us. And even if we have falling outs, we know they would be there for us at 2:00 in the morning if we needed to go to the hospital.
Right.
But there's other people in our lives that they're the reason you're going to the hospital at 2 a.m.
Right.
And God is a door opener and a door closer.
That's right.
And that's why we are brothers.
Right.
Because Marshall will say, Sean, you need to look deep down inside.
Right.
And make that thing right. And it's true.
Yeah.
And then there'll be times where I'll call Marshall and say, hey, block him. So, but the yin and the yang is needed. Right. Because all of those things happened on the 9th floor. Right. We got beautiful stories about laughing and joking.
Right.
And then we got stories in 104 fever with our teeth chattering.
Right.
And that's life. And we want to be here for you throughout it. Hopefully we make you laugh a little bit.
Right.
But
and help you get through your verses.
Ooh,
That's most important.
That's our most important thing.
Right.
So, man, I feel like this is a strong episode 1.
I
It's
know.
a good intro.
I know. I know.
I hope they know what
I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I'm excited.
Our production will get better.
Right.
This is episode 1.
I'm gonna try to keep him contained, but as you see, I love his
person
energy.
is minimal. I'm doing good.
Right.
We got notes up here on the board
Yes, sir.
that I am to stay on some type of topic platform. Amen. But look, we're here for you all. And all jokes aside, we're gonna have a lot of fun on here.
Right.
But we don't want one underlining message to be forgotten because
right.
God has put this on both of us.
Thank you.
Look into donating. Look into helping somebody. So many of you all have a pet in your house right now that you rescued.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. So it's already inside of you to do something for somebody else. Right. Just look into it. We're gonna, like he said, we're gonna educate you along this journey. We're gonna have fun along this journey. But if any piece of you is just even curious about it, put it in the comments or reach out to you. We'd love to even give you a call. Right. And share our story. We're here as servants in this capacity right now.
And we have, and in addition to that, we have friends, or I've had friends in addition to that, who have wanted to donate. But I can tell you though, you know, they have huge intricate parts in the success also of where we are. Ooh. Even if they didn't, even if you're
not a match,
right.
You know, let's say you're not a match,
right.
You could still be that person though that sends that person a text in the morning that says, "Hey,
yes,
let's keep pushing.
Right.
Want to go for a walk this weekend?
Right.
You want to go for lunch?
Right.
You know, I found this new alkaline water. You want to give it like whatever part you can do."
Right.
Do it.
Because I'll be during the podcast as we get through certain stories. You know, I'll first, get permission from these folks, but I will give some shout outs to certain people who were helping me through that journey. They may not have donated a kidney, but they helped me through that journey. And I need for you to know that those people, even though they may have a name that is associated with them in my favor, you have those names that are associated with you that are in your favor, and you'll be able to relate to them as well.
Amen, amen. Well, hey, I think this is a good way to wrap up our first episode.
Well, Sean, it was good. I think so. Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the ninth floor.
Welcome to the ninth floor.
More energy to come. And don't report our page if I get out of line. Just fast forward. Just fast forward and skip what I said. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I do not bend to cancel culture. I do not care. So we're working on it. All right. Amen. Hey, that's it. I think we did a good job.
Jesus. And it was just like natural.